Alright guys, here we go. You see I got this 6-speed blender. This is how I've been making a lot of my smoothies. I know, slightly bootleg, I know, but this is how I've been making a lot of my smoothies for the last 6 months. Before I had a smaller version. They both were, I think, mainstay, and I got them both from Walmart. But that's what I do. And recently I started getting stuff like this. You know, the frozen fruit. I've been doing mostly, check this light out. I got this from Walmart. I'm going to do a lot of reviews, guys. But it's this little light from the top. So it just puts some overhead lighting, which is cool, track lighting. But anyway, so basically I generally get fresh fruit, and I always get fresh bananas. I don't have any fresh bananas today. I always get fresh kale. I don't have any kale today. I thought I had brought some with me, but I left it at my mother-in-law's house. We were actually at our new house. It's a nice new house for us, me and my family. And I don't have any kale, and I don't have a lot of spinach either. But I'm still going to make my smoothie nevertheless. And this is going to be my little smoothie area. Although it's going to be other stuff on this counter, I'll just move it every time I want to create a smoothie, or every time I want to show you something from the kitchen. Greg Reese in the kitchen. You know, this house is nice. It's still in the tri-state area. I'm not going to reveal the location just yet. We're not actually moved in here just yet. We won't really move in until May the 1st. But we're coming up here, getting things ready, cleaning, and just to our specifications, it was clean. A lot of the parts, if you saw my little door video, you saw that was crazy. But other than that, if not, look for my door video. Other than that, we just want to clean it and get it to how we like, you know, and then we're going to move it here May the 1st. So, generally too, when I'm making a smoothie, again, I usually have kale is my number 1 ingredient. And if you saw my mukbang video, you know I like peach juice. Number 1 of my main ingredients, spinach, kale, bananas, because that kale has a hard taste to me. So I use the spinach to cut that and peach juice to cut that, and it just gives me a great taste. It's a great taste for me. Since I don't have kale today, I don't really have to worry about it, but I'm still going to show you as if I had kale. And that's actually it, guys. That's all I got for here today. One thing I like about this frozen fruit is again, I didn't used to do a lot of frozen fruit, but one thing I like about the frozen fruit is it's prepared, and it actually is cheaper. Of course, it might cost $8, $9, $10 a bag for a 3-pound bag, or you know, whatever the average bag is, but it's a lot cheaper than if I was to buy a pound of blueberries, a pound of strawberries, a pound of cherries. And now, again, I don't know how much less healthy it may be. Is there a lot of sugar in there? I know it says high in vitamin C. So we'll see what the difference is, but it just says strawberries, blueberries, dark sweet cherries, red tart cherries. It doesn't say a lot of sugar. Let's see what it says for sugar. Sodium is 0. Saturated fat 000, dietary fiber 11. Sugar. Okay, sugar 12 grams of sugar. So actually, this seems pretty healthy. So again, to me, it's great. Oh, look at this. So baby spinach. I bought this about a couple days ago. Today is April 20th. Also, today is my birthday. April 20th, 420. I know. I was around maybe a year before 420, or maybe a year after 420, but I never heard about 420 and understood it. until like 2001. So I was established first. Even if I think 420 might have been established in 1971. I don't know nothing about it. So anyway, let's go back to the smoothie. These are the things I'm going to use in my smoothie today. And actually, I'm going to do an unboxing of the blender. I actually have one of these blenders down in Cincinnati. Uh-oh. I might have gave my location away. Not really, because you can go down to Cincinnati. I could be in Canada. I can be in Cleveland. I'll tell you soon enough. I could be in Columbus. I could be in Toledo. I'm still in Ohio area, so I can't be in Canada. But I'm in Ohio area. But anything, Cincinnati's at the very bottom of the state, so anything up above, 275 is down to Cincinnati. And I am still in Ohio. So let's unbox this blender. I'm going to cut this. Okay, unboxing the blender. Probably would have been better if I didn't bring this stuff out to unbox the blender, but no big deal. So, again, I got this from, this is not a juicer. I know, somebody's saying right now, that's how you juice, that's how you juice. Well, it's not a juicer, it's a blender. And it's been working good for me. It's let me cut a lot of weight. Most of the weight that I've lost is because of this. We used to have a better juicer. We had a Ninja about 2 years ago. We don't have that. I think it broke, the engine broke or something, but it was good while it lasted. And we've never had anything maybe that more expensive than $80 or something. But eventually I may get a true juicer. But what's in this box is this cup here. I mean this pitcher. This cover cap. And the base. The base! This is a different kind of base. It's a blender base. Again, this is only $14, but it does what I need to do. And actually this time it won't be hard to blend up my stuff because I don't have kale. I don't have the thick parts of the kale. Now that's going to be a little frozen, but I'm going to put enough juice in there. And it has the same taste as most smoothies and most blenders. Now I'll taste some that taste a lot better than what I create, but I'll taste some that, they're doing it professionally and charging me a certain amount of money, but I do it here and it tastes just about the same. So I'll tell you what was a good one when we were in Cleveland, Ohio. And they had these smoothies. We used to pay $5 for the small one, $6 for the bigger one or something like that, $6 or $7 at the Cleveland Clinic when we were up there with my wife. So anyway, so I'm going to rinse this out, guys. So I'll be back. Actually, I'm not going anywhere. I'll let you be there. Probably should rinse it. Probably should wash it out. So I'm going to put a little soap in there. And I'll tell you this crazy story. My smaller blender, which was, I believe was a mainstay as well. I got it from Walmart. Hold on, I'm going to tell you when I get over there. Let's see. I think that's good enough. All right, now here's a funny story. I'm going to put this on the base, and then I'm going to move this box. We've already unboxed it. Let me sit it over here off to the side. If you want to still see it a little bit, you can. It's a mainstay if you like what I do. My hands are a little wet. Let me dry them off. Okay, I'm going to plug this in. You see my plugs up here to the corner, the outlet. And I usually start with this. Oh, here's my funny story. It's not really funny. I used to have a small blender and I wanted to sanitize it with alcohol. So after I blend, I would wash it and then I put alcohol in it, let it sanitize it. And normally I take it right out. This is actually isopropyl alcohol that you use on bruises and cuts and whatever. Rubbing type, it was like 75% or however you gauge that. And I had it inside the small of my blender, and and I forgot for some reason, and I put my kale in. I don't know, I think I got up one morning, just put the kale in, put the spinach in, you know, didn't even think about it and look at it. All of a sudden, I had this crazy taste, like, what is this weird taste? I was like, okay, maybe it's some bad kale or something. Like, maybe it's a stronger kale, had a strong taste. And I started drinking more. I was like, wait a minute, I must have left that alcohol in there. It was crazy. I was like, man, will I die? I looked up what happens when you eat isopropyl. What happens when you eat isopropyl alcohol? And of course, nothing happened to me. I'm still here, but it was a little scare for a second. So anyway, what I like to do, I didn't really want any bananas in this one today, which I normally use fresh bananas. I just was going to go with this. So what I normally do is put the kale in first, but sometimes that's hard to chop up. Look at that fresh frozen cherries. I don't know if they're fresh, but they are frozen. Tastes good. And who knows, they may have been sitting around for a month before they frozen. Probably not though. And I have this spinach. It is already clean, but just to make sure, I'm gonna clean it again. And I don't really have to rinse it off too much because I could have used the water in here, but anyway, I'm going to put this in here. Normally I'll put my kale first. I'm going to put this spinach in there. And normally I like to get a lot more spinach and kale. I just want like a power pack smoothie with kale and spinach. That kale's really done great to my body. Now, if you see me now, I have gained about 10 pounds since I lost all the way down to, I think I was 190, 295 or something at the beginning of the year. But then the stuff happened with my wife, and then I started eating a lot and wasn't doing any, I was eating a lot of different stuff. Anyway, then I'm pouring this in here, which is the fruit. I don't necessarily say, oh, I want a cup. Let me pour a cup in there. I just pour what I feel like pouring in there, and then I might eat some when I feel like it. So today, I don't think I'm opening these. They say they're organic. I'm not sure how everything is and how they judge that. Organic strawberries, organic bananas, absorbic acid to promote color. And I'm sure there's something that is a lot better than these, but this is, I'm sure, is a good brand. They call it organic. You pay for organic. And I'm sure it's pretty good for you and your health. But anyway, what I like to do too was helps my smoothie. The smoothie that they did in Cleveland at the Cleveland Clinic, that area, they used pomegranate juice, and I love that taste. But I still love my Simply Peach taste as well. So whenever I guess I'm gonna use the word cut, but like I said, I started using it. Like first I was using lemonade and orange juice, and certain tastes I kind of like sometimes, and I've even used milk. Of course I don't use regular milk. I use a silk type milk, or a what do you call it, lactose free milk, and I'll blend it. It tastes like more of a dairy malt, dairy farmer thing. But anyway, I'll put this in here, and I don't measure anything. I just work it until I see the consistency I like. So let's say if that's too much, which that is 2 cups, is it? Let's see, I can't tell. Looks like 3 cups. Let's get a little closer in there. Can't really tell because I covered it up, but let's see, about 3 cups. So I'm not sure if that's 3 cups of liquid or it's just mixing up with the fruit and everything. So it's 3 cups because you see that's well over 3 cups. But anyway, that's what I'll do. And then The most simple part is I push, depending on what's all in there. I might start out shot, but there you go. Did I click it? Okay, that's interesting. So I'll shake it because normally we'll start. So, wow, this is actually broken. This is, so they must have turned this. I guess we're not going to make a smoothie today. Live on camera. This is weird. Okay, so I had to take this back to Walmart because this evidently was a returned blender and it's broken. I know how to use a blender and there's no way I would have chopped it up and you saw me on camera. You didn't hear any crazy stuff. All you heard was so that's really weird. Look at that. It's time to go back to Walmart today. Wally World. Now this has never happened to me. It's actually never happened to me on camera. Let's see. I've done some blending on camera before, I think, or at least show some of the stuff I've done, and this has never happened to me. Most products I get from Walmart, they're good products. This evidently must have been used before because you could tell that it's ground off. You don't see any grinding, anything in there. Let's see. You don't see anything that's ground. But, oh, actually, is that low? I have no idea, but whatever it is, it's broken. So we need to take that back. And I think that's really interesting. So, okay, guys, that's the end of this tutorial about smoothie. And I'm actually going to post this because I think it's quite interesting. No disrespect to Walmart. They, as you're going to see in a lot of my blogs and vlogs and reviews, I do a lot of shopping at what we call Wally World. It's great. It's entertaining. I don't know exactly why we call it Wally World, but my buddy calls it Wally World. And when I said Wally World, the first thing my wife thought of was vacation. It's a fun place to be. And that's how Walmart feels sometimes. It's a fun place to be. I'm not going to even put any music with this. I'm just going to upload it. And then you guys are going to have a little surprise at about the 10-minute mark. But you've already had that surprise if you're right here with me now. Alright guys, it's Greg Reese, definitely saying peace. I have a half smoothie today. I'm going to put this stuff up and I might not be able to finish my birthday smoothie today because I got to go exchange this. We had some other stuff to do we're going to do for my birthday, and then we're going to head back down to Cincinnati, and you know we need an hour or so to ride. I'm giving you another hint to where I am, and I'll tell you guys where I am at one point, but right now I'm going to go exchange this thing. We got a couple other things we're going to exchange, but never really had a problem with Walmart stuff like this. So don't judge me, don't judge Walmart. Alright guys, Greg Reese, peace. Alright guys, I'm back. It's a few hours later, had some things to do, stopped by Walmart, got me a new blender. What? So now we actually have two of these blenders, two that work. Can you see that? It just happened to be a fluke. I'm sure that somebody must have put it back on the floor when it shouldn't have been back on the floor. Somebody returned it, said it wasn't working, or blended it wrong. And I'm going to show you how to blend it right. I'm not sure of everything I was talking about. One thing I am sure of though is I'm going to make me a birthday smoothie after all. We got some Chinese food. We didn't do too much for my birthday. I didn't want to do too much. I have an event tonight. And now I bought some kale. So now I'm going to actually have kale in there. You'll see how much kale and spinach I normally put in my drink. My smoothie, I usually have enough to where I can make 2 or 3 smoothies. 8 ounces, 12 ounces, 20 ounces. So there you go guys. That's how much I normally put in there. Is it right? I don't know. And I saved this other stuff I put in there. I'm sure the fruit is a little thawed out now. But that's cool. I can open it. And I'm going to pour this in here. you'll see it pour in. I don't know if you can see me pouring it in. And there you go. Fruit going everywhere. So let's see. Take this back a little bit. Same blender, same unboxed thing. Let's see. There you go. Got your spinach in there. This has actually helped me lose weight. Spinach, fruit, kale, and it just did wonders for my body. Is it the perfect smoothie for me? Yes, it is. You know, now that's a little bit too tight, but rather have it too tight than too loose and open and all that other stuff. So, and no bottom. Here we go, guys. Let's get it started. There we go. Fresh and synthetic as it's spinning. It's the bottom, I'm sure. One thing I mentioned before, let's check this bottom. It looks great, see? I don't know if you can see it. But anyway, one thing I mentioned before is sometimes I'll do the pulse to get my kale chopped up, but this kale is actually chopped up about bag kale instead of fresh kale, which has a thicker stems. And sometimes I add my stems because I heard it's a lot of nutrients in the stems as well. So then I do that, and maybe sometimes I might. But most of the time I keep it fast. That's how I make my smoothie. Now this is probably this cap is really tight. This is probably a little bit thinner than I like my smoothies. Like I don't like them too thick, but I don't like them too thin either. So what I'm going to do is this is a little frozen. This is going to help me thicken it up. I think I added too much juice, and I think since the berries melted or they thawed out a little bit in the refrigerator, when I put it in there with the juice, that's what made it be that thin. So let's go back here again. And sometimes what I used to do too, before I used frozen fruit, I would use ice, baby. I would use ice, but this time I'm using frozen fruit, so that gives me a freezy, icy type feel. And there you go. Sometimes too, I like to have the smoothie feel, and this is not a perfect juicer, but it makes a perfect smoothie for me. And let's show you the end product. Sometimes I have more color in it. Sometimes with these berries, they give me a darker color. I have green color a lot. Sometimes I have a redder color. Can you guys see that? Let's see. Yeah, you can. Let's go. I saw a clump, so everything didn't blend up right, which it does a lot of times. Sometimes it doesn't, but it tastes good to me. It tastes good to me. And I like the vitamins, nutrients, everything kale gives it. It has a sweet taste to me. I can taste a little bit of the kale. Sometimes I'll cut it again with bananas in this juice to give it that sweeter taste. But sometimes I just eat it raw, guys. Sometimes I just eat it raw, eat the kale raw, and go on and take it. I believe that's what's done the most for me and the weight. So there you go, guys. This is my birthday smoothie today. A little brown, but that's cool. I'm with that. Now I'm going to have some Chinese foods. I didn't actually do this to lose weight or anything. I just did it because I wanted to do a video with you guys and I wanted to do my birthday smoothie. So you might not see this on my birthday. It may upload by tomorrow because my connection up here is not as fast as the studio. So it may take a while to load and we'll find out. Okay guys, it's Greg Reese. I'll be making more smoothies, taking more pictures. Actually, what I'll put at the end of this video, some of my fruit pictures, which I've taken for stock footage on various places, a free site called Pixabay, and for Adobe stock footage, Adobe stock images. All right, guys, it's great. It's Greg Reese. Peace. 6-speed blender. I'm good with you, Walmart. I know somebody put it back, but we good now. Peace.